Let me go see. How's everybody doing?
Good.
Good?
Yeah. All right.
We'll give it a few minutes to see if anybody else comes in or joins Zoom.
That rain was fun last night.
I think it was hailing.
Okay.
It sounded like somebody was like garden hose to my window. It was gnarly.
And coming down in Coronado, like going down the Strand, there's a couple, it's so terrible going down the Strand because they have some patches where water sits.
Yeah. I remember that. It's bad.
And there was one, and I didn't really see it. Luckily, I was in my truck, girl's Jeep, but it like took my truck, just tried to throw it off, basically. And then the wave was so big, it like doubled the size of my truck. It went straight up and over. And I held it, like just pretty much just holding my truck towards the other lane. Yeah, it was easy. My buddy was going down the other side of the stream. It's like,
Holy shit, dude. Yeah, dude. It's crazy now.
it's crazy. I like full car for everything. It was like really terrified. That's the island. It's like muddy. So
All right. Well, today is your day. Your day to present information, to save my voice, and to impress our our new student in the back here.
Thought I might. Figured I'd drop it. A lot of appendix, but yeah. But by the way.
All right. Everybody can chat.
Good morning.
Everybody can talk, but if you're on Zoom, just in case you have background noise, keep your microphone muted until you're ready to speak. And we are ready to go. So yesterday, everybody drew a piece of paper from a bunch of different categories, and you were assigned a category. So we could either go in whatever order you want to. If you're ready to go, the floor is yours. Is anybody confident and ready? Cool.
okay.
And at the end, I expect 2 questions from the audience to with whoever presented. Yeah, my iPad starts.
All right, so just separate class Bravo airspace, 3 statute miles, clear of clouds. Golf day, golf night. It's gonna actually follow this one. So below 1200 AGL, at and below. 1 square mile of clear of clouds visibility.
1 square.
Or sorry, statute mile visibility and remaining clear of clouds. Above 1200, 1 statute mile visibility. You need cloud clearance 1,000 feet above, 500 feet below, and 2,000 feet horizontally. And then Charlie, Delta, and Echo and Golf at night need 3 statute mile visibility. Similar 1,000 above, 2,000 horizontally, and 500 feet below in terms of cloud clearance. Once you get to 10,000 feet MSL, up to, but not including 18,000 MSL. Well, and golf will end at 14.5. You've got 5 statute miles of visibility. You need cloud clearance of 1,000 feet above, 1,000 feet below, and a statute mile horizontally. And so ceiling visibility for VFR, you need 3,000 plus and up. And then, visibility is 5 statute miles and above. Modified or marginal VFR, 1,000 to 3,000. So not including 3,000. Is that correct? Not including 3,000?
For which one?
Marginal VFR, 1,000 up to, but not including 3,000.
Yes.
Three, three to up to 5 statute miles visibility. IFR 500 feet cleft clearance up to, and not including 1,000. 1 to 3 miles statute mile visibility. Low IFR, below 500 feet, and below 1 statute mile visibility. And special VFR, you need 1 statute mile visibility.
Cool. Do we have any questions?
Yes, sir.
What if you had a 2,000-foot ceiling, but a 7 statute mile visibility?
So, what was it, 2,000 foot?
2,000-foot ceiling, 7 statute miles.
It would be modified VFR. Margin, sorry. So this one has to be an and, this can be either or, but it has to fulfill at least the minimum required. I believe it's and or.
Any other questions? Going once, going twice? Aaron? All right.
Teaching.
That was a great question.
Actually. Is the triangle method something Sling teaches specifically?
So
Cause I've
King
never heard of
School-
it till.
King School teaches it, I think they have like, you draw like a big E with a G, and then they write the difference, like visibility and cloud clearances with that. When I was going through training, I was taught triangle. It's not necessarily a Sling thing, it's just a memorization tool to be able to remember it. So whether you remember it this way, or you remember just looking at a textbook and memorizing it, it's totally up to you, but when I was doing my training, it was finding little memory aids were very, very helpful. So totally up to you how you want to do it.
Yeah, I like that method.
So were you here when I sent out the triangle, the one that I made? No? Okay, go ahead and turn your AirDrop on.
Cause the way I had to learn it was. When I took my part 107 written, I had to draw all of the wedding cakes as they called them. And then in private pilot, I had to add the visibilities into that, so I remember to draw the whole entire. airspace.
Got it.
And
Yeah,
that seems way easy.
Whatever works best for you, it shows the same information, just different ways. What is, your iPhone, you want me to send it to? Does anybody else want that?
We already got it.
So this is just taking that information that we learned on these slides, and putting it into a more graphical format, I guess you could say. Aaron, you get it? Naka, you get it?
Yeah,
Cool.
thank you.
Cool. So that was great, very thorough to the point. Who wants to go next? Well, hmm?
Who else is presentation?
I
John
think Ollie, John Lau should, but I don't see him. Comes to every class except for the one where he has to present.
Usually
He comes late.
30 minutes late.
Yeah.
He's technically not supposed to be in the class, he's just listening in, so good for him, but. And I think we might have a couple people on Zoom.
Oh, did you
Just-
do the attendance and everything?
Not just on Zoom.
Hmm. And once we go through all the presentations, we can go over any topics as a review from the last few weeks. If there's any sort of topic that we've gone over and you want to go over again. Otherwise, we will do another weight and balance. I know most of you have it down, but it's just to really fortify that in your mind.
Corey,
Yes.
for my presentation, am I allowed to still screen?
Yeah, that's fine.
I don't know.
Base, accidents, incidents, and TSB. So, yeah.
Okay, so, I had the medical certificates. So if you're under 40 and you get your first class, the first class is for the airlines. Second class for commercial. Third class is for student pilots, recreational, and private pilots. So with your first class, after the first 12 calendar months of it, it drops strict. So you still have first class medical, but under the third class rules for it, right? Is that how you say it? Privileges. Third class privileges, yeah. And then you would use the rest of your 60 calendar months with that. And then the same thing with the second, it wouldn't drop from a first to a second, and then a third, it just dropped from first to third. And then same with second, if you just have a second, it would drop straight to a third. And then if you're over 40, once you get your first class medical, and you have for your 6 calendar months, it drops down to a second class medical for the rest of the 6 months for your 12 calendar months. And then it would drop down to a third for your remaining 24 months that you would have with the rest of them. And then if you get a basic med, which is because you don't qualify for first, second, or third class, but you still want to fly, all you need is a valid US driver's license, a state legal certified medical, not an FAA medical by an FAA doctor. And then you need to take the basic med course. And then once you pass all that, you get your basic med. You're not able to like be hired for anything. You can't exceed more than 250 knots. You can't go above 18,000 feet MSL. No more than 7 occupants in your plane at one time, including yourself. And then your plane is not allowed to weigh more than 12,500 pounds. Sweet.
Is there a, how many months between the basic med course and the actual getting medical?
That is a good question that we did not cover in the PowerPoints.
What was your question?
How many calendar months between do you have to retake the basic med course, and how many calendar months are you supposed to take the physical exam?
I don't know, it's like 12.
You can share with them.
Basic med course is 24 calendar months. The actual physical is every 48.
So you have to redo your physical every 48 months?
Yes.
And then redo your certification every 12 months?
Yes.
Okay.
I think the course is 2 years, right?
Did I flip flop them?
No, course is 2 years, and then I think the physical is 40.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry,
I think
course
that's,
is 24 calendar months, and then
yeah, I think that's.
That's right, yes.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, and I think the physical is 4 years, not calendar. It's just
Yeah.
like straight up 4 years.
So like to the
Do they
day.
usually just
Yeah,
say
to the
4
day.
years or calendar months?
Usually the medical certificates are in calendar months.
Yeah.
But I believe the verbiage that is used does say years.
Hmm.
Which would be from a date to a date.
So your course is every 4 years, date to date, and then your medical's every 12 months, 24 months? Okay.
Yeah, that was one thing we didn't cover.
Yeah, physicals every 4 years, and then the basic med's calendar months.
Do the backwards. So the physical is 4 years, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Where are you finding that verbiage? In the FAR-AIM?
No, that's just how I wrote it down in my notes.
Okay, so
The
I'm on not a FA approved source, but AOPA is discussing basic med course must be completed before the doctor's visit. So the course renewal is based on 24 calendar months from the last day you completed the course and passed the quiz. And then a comprehensive medical examination is required every 48 calendar months. So this is showing it in calendar months and for both the medical course and the examination. But we could look in the FAR-AIM to see if we, in the basic med section, would anybody like to do that? What's that?
I'm looking at it right now.
61
Yeah, it just takes you to 68.7 for the medical exam option. And then for it's 61.3 for the certificate, so it doesn't actually tell you the times.
Okay, so I'm looking, I know it's not up to date because they added the 7 occupants and 12,500 max certified takeoff weight, but the outdated basic med advisory circular, the 68-1 alpha is saying that the course, or sorry, the medical examination that shows your most recent physical examination was within the past 48 months. Be sure you have a course completion certificate that was issued by a basic med medical training course provider within the past 24 calendar months. So this advisory circular is showing 24 calendar months for the course and 48 months for the examination.
So 48 months to the date, 48 calendar.
It doesn't specify calendar months, so it should be, they're making it seem like it's to the date.
Probably because of the fact that you can get it from a person who doesn't know flying things in terms.
Exactly, state licensed physician. Cool, good
Sick.
job.
Thanks.
I'll show you a better way to write that. Next.
Which one?
Have you heard of the devil's lettuce acronym? It's out of date now, but still really helpful to remember it.
Devil's lettuce.
Right?
I might be.
Narc.
I've heard that before.
I've heard things.
Hopefully not in this town. Yeah, but he's first.
Yay.
Ready, dude.
Hey, there was someone before me yesterday. Just gotta study.
I have a flight at 1 today.
Okay, cool. Yes, make sure you check in at 12:30 and then you can, I'll let you go pre-flight like 10, 15 minutes before.
Flight tomorrow, too, 4 to 6. Did that.
On weekends.
Yeah.
Just because all flights were canceled yesterday due to weather, so they usually shift it to the weekend.
Yeah.
But if you can't on the weekend, I'll just like let your instructor know at least
Look at my phone.
for
Like
like
10
24 hours.
Oh, here's a detection. It's hard for me to understand, but.
Yeah. No, it was honestly like really hard to understand it. Why information from like, I didn't get it though. Until we debriefed it, yeah. It made it a little bit more sense.
Yeah, for some reason, he decided to do the presentation in the driver's seat.
Call your lawyer to decipher.
You can see the windshield wipers going back and forth.
No, it's kind of crazy. He was like, he was spitting good knowledge, but he like shows the diagram. He's like, yeah, this is this and this.
Yeah,
is
like, what does that mean?
And then move on before I'm like,
Just
where do you?
do it the most restrictive.
I do agree with that. They showed a flock of geese that could be mistaken for rain and precipitation. And
Yeah.
like, how do you differentiate that?
Not even that, like a lot of like, because you wasn't using AWS, you using like the actual what it's like, no, yeah. And he was going to all these like different tabs of it, and it was just like he would be explaining.
Oh, no, it actually did.
And like I understand you're supposed to get this information. from
Modifies the
what you're
duration of
looking at,
time for comprehensive medical
But
examination.
it's just a bunch
48
of lines
months
to
to
me,
48
and
calendar
colors.
You can change it?
What?
Yeah, and then
Where you putting
Honestly,
that?
it was.
I really don't.
Yeah, I think the radar portion went through most people's, just went over most people's heads. As soon as we started touching other topics, everyone was so.
Yeah, all right, so let me just send it to you.
I think I was most
89.
and then I started slipping because it was so hard. So by the time we got to the weather, I was like, low. I was like, go like this. I was like, try to sit up. It was like 2 hours, just an hour. So, but it's like,
So
and my brain didn't work that way.
Yeah, I don't know if it's just.
Shit, something like that.
Exactly.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It was great. Yeah, I'm gonna do it again.
Yeah, it's heavy sketch for that. I don't see what's around there.
Well,
you just gotta know about it.
How's the 2-day thing going?
It doesn't mention the like second.
The one guy?
Oh, yeah, I'm gonna send her a text attacking it. Definitely. Yeah,
That'd be fun.
yeah, that'd be great.
Because if she had so many complaints about that one,
Yeah,
I'm excited to see what she'll show us.
yeah, me too. Anybody have binoculars? Pretty insane app, honestly. Binocular. Oh, I thought you were being serious. I was like, what? My bad. Oops. I was like, I thought we were gonna go outside and start looking at planes. I'm down.
That's a big ass.
I'm down. You get to the stick. No, that was so cool. I'll do it again, honestly. Same mistake. And I was with an ACS standard, so take it all. It was a great moment in my life, in my flying career, on top tier moment.
You do?
I was like on short final, doing like doing short field landings and like short final, and like run up area for 2-7 right. There's just a P-50 on this, just sitting in the film. I'm just like, I like low forgot. But I was within ACS standards, made the landing, it was all good. Top tier moment of my flying career. It just caught me off guard because I heard him on the radio. And I like just like glanced down, you know. I'm already outside, I'm looking at the thing, it's a P-50 on Mustang. I'm like, it's so sad. Then I landed and had Kelly take the control. Film that thing, like, wow. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Honestly fair. It was crazy. I was like, my dream. One day. Maybe. Probably not. High hopes.
They make replicas now, right?
Mm-hmm.
How many millions are those?
There's like a full carbon fiber, like smaller version that uses like a Rotax engine. You kind of got to build it yourself, but it's only a few $100,000. Like only, but like instead of like $2 million for like a real one, and then hundreds of dollars to run it per hour with that Merlin. Like,
All right, everybody really quick. So you guys remember the basic med, the regulatory updates to basic med document that we were looking at yesterday by the FAA?
Mhm.
It was put out on 11/18/2024. There is a section in here that does say they changed or they updated the terms to a consistent usage of the word calendar months. So according to this document with the regulatory updates, calendar months is now the standard term used. So there is no trying to figure out months versus calendar months. It's just
Always
calendar
gonna be
months.
calendar month.
So 24 calendar months, 48 calendar months. And if you guys want this document, I can
I'd like this.
send it to you guys.
Says the one that I like too is a separate one.
I think it was the same one. We were looking at it yesterday a little bit.
I kind of came late. I'll take it.
Yeah.
There's flight pad.
Yeah, oh yeah. Yeah.
Who else wanted it?
Oh.
Flight pad.
So it failed.
I was gonna get it to you. This is from the federalregister.gov.
You resent to me.
What? Yes. Yeah. Everybody get it that wants it? You sent it to me as well. Yeah.
I haven't gotten it yet.
What's the, oh, there we go. It's iPhone.
There we go.
Alrighty. Ali, are you ready?
Yeah, we're gonna be talking about airspace. We have bus A Alpha, starts at 18,000 MSL to flight level 600. It's not predicted, no chart, and you have to be IFR rated pilot and within IFR flight plan. And bus Bravo. It starts from surface to 10,000 MSL. It's classified as blue solid line, and you need the multi transponder, a DSBL, and two-way communication. No student could enter Bravo, unless your instructor endorse you. And you have to be pilot rated, and you have to hear clear into the Bravo to be able to enter the Bravo. Class Charlie, within 10 nautical miles, from 1,200 AGL to 4,000 AGL, and radius, 10 nautical miles radius, and 5 nautical miles radius from surface to 4,000 AGL. It's depicted by the bunker line. And you need a more C transponder, the SBL, and two-way communication. Class Delta,
Really quick, before you move on to Delta, sorry to interrupt. Going over the dimensions, remember these are customizable, but the 4,000 feet and then the 1,200 feet, so the upper shelf typically has a radius of 10 nautical miles.
Yeah.
It goes up to
Lower shelf.
4,000 feet, and then the lower shelf is
from surface to,
surface up to 1,200. But once again, it's customizable. That's just the typical. Cool. Go ahead, continue.
and we have Class Delta. Class Delta starts surface to 2,500 MSL. And it's to that blue dashed lines, and you need a two-way communication. We have Last Echo. Echo starts, so we have the, the vignette. So inside the vignette, it starts from 700 to 1,200 AGL. Outside the vignette, starts from 1,200 up to 1,700.
700 to 1,200 AGL.
Yeah.
So how high can Class Echo go?
How high inside the vignette?
So when you say 700 to 1,200 AGL, does that mean it starts somewhere in between there?
So, oh, you mean,
So it can start at 800 AGL? Is what you're saying? What do you mean by 700 to 1,200 AGL? Does that mean that anywhere in between the 700 to 1,200 AGL is where the Class Echo starts? Do they just randomly choose that it starts in between that range, or does it start at 1,200 feet AGL or 700 feet AGL?
it starts at 700 AGL and goes up to 1,200 AGL, no?
No. Does anybody
Inside
want
the vignette.
to help with that? Just with the wording?
It can start at multiple different altitudes. 700 is one of the many ones, and it goes up to 17,999 stops. That's when alphabet is entered, and then I'm not gonna go further because
Okay, let's specifically talk about the 700 or the 1,200.
Like, what does the vignette do? Right? Do you know what
Fuzzy
the
or, like,
vignette
solid?
depicts?
One at a time, one at a time.
Dark.
Wait, what's going on?
Like, there you go.
What, the reason we have a vignette,
Yeah,
the vignette depicts something specific, either one thing or another thing.
There's not a range.
What does it mean?
I have the vignettes right here. One of those.
You're on the right track. Everything else is great. It's just Class Echo could be worded a little bit differently. So let's start with, there's 3 different locations of where a Class Echo could start.
yeah.
What's the lowest one?
700 lower.
Where's a dashed magenta line?
It's Echo
Okay, from where?
surface.
Surface.
Yeah.
So there's the dashed magenta, which is surface echo.
Mhm.
Perfect. Next, the magenta vignette, the fuzzy line. Where does that start?
700.
700 feet AGL on the fuzzy side, right?
Yeah, inside.
Okay. And then what's the last one?
12,000 to 1,200 right now.
1,200.
1,200. And where does that start? Where does that start? Anybody?
Outside of the,
And then in some
Sure.
rare cases in Alaska, we'll see what color?
Blue.
Blue. So surface 700 or 1,200, not 700 to 1,200. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Cool. Just wanted to verify that. But
Okay.
yeah, it's not a range. It's just either here, here, or here.
And
Cool.
yeah, you don't need the two-way communication. And last go from surface to 700 almost 699.
If there's a Class Echo fuzzy vignette, yes.
And
What about if there isn't a Class Echo? What does Class Golf go up to? Or what can it go up to?
So if there's no echo,
Like there's no other airspace, it's just class golf. What's the highest it could go up to?
1,000.
1,000?
10,000. 14,500.
Does everybody agree?
No.
Cool. You said no?
I said no.
You don't agree that class golf can extend up to 14,500?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good.
Okay.
Cool. Good. So any questions on that?
Are you not allowed to fly into any Bravo airspace?
Me, personally?
Yeah.
Yeah, I have to
As a
get
student,
endorsed
you
by
have to get an endorsement, yes. But does that endorsement allow you to go into any Bravo?
That's a good question.
No, it has to be specific Bravo. that
Okay,
you-
and then continuing on, can you get a Bravo endorsement with that specific Bravo for every single Bravo out there?
You mean like a structure clears you to go into any Bravo? Is that what you're saying?
You said it earlier, but I don't think you understand it. You said the dirty dozen. Do you know what that means?
I said 30.
Pull up the AIM and go to the Bravo airspace. It'll list out 12 different of the most populated airports in all of the US. Those airports you do not enter unless you have a PPL, even with an endorsement. That is what is referred to as the dirty dozen.
So where's that regulation?
That is in the AIM and
The AIM.
under Bravo interfaces.
Let's all look at that.
Chapter 3.
And it does matter because it does matter for us.
Chapter 3 airspace.
The name.
Okay. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Oh, yeah. Interesting.
So you want to read that since you have it open? Do you want to explain it, what it's saying?
No person may take off or land a civil aircraft at the following primary airports within Class B airspace unless the pilot in command holds at least a private pilot certificate.
Yeah.
Andrews Air Force Base, MD, Atlanta Hartsfield Airport, GA, Boston Logan Airport, MA, Chicago O'Hare International Airport, Illinois, Dallas Fort Worth International Airport, Texas, Los Angeles International Airport, California, Miami International Airport, Florida, Newark International Airport, New Jersey, New York Kennedy Airport, New York LaGuardia Airport, New York, Ronald Reagan Washington National Airport, DC, San Francisco International Airport, California. Those are the 12.
Or is that 3?
Page 556.
They do have special flight areas where you can fly VFR through those corridors only.
Is that like when you fly like over, like right over the runway?
It's very dependent. I've taken a look at.
And then going off of the Bravo endorsements, so there are
Very specific to each.
There are a couple different student pilot endorsements regarding Bravo. So there's the solo flight in Class Bravo airspace, and then a solo flight to, from, or at an airport located in Class Bravo airspace. So the first one, solo flight in Class Bravo airspace, pretty much the endorsement is I certify that Ali Al-Khatib has received the required training of 6195 Alpha. I've determined that he is proficient to conduct solo flights in the name of Class Bravo airspace, and then list any applicable conditions or limitations. So you do have to, it does have to be a specific Class Bravo airspace. And then the other endorsement, solo flight to and from the airport located in a Class Bravo airspace, has to list the solo flight operations at that specific airport. And then obviously those 12 airports within Bravo airspaces, you have to have at least a private pilot.
So if you're looking to fly anywhere around LAX, you have to understand that type of information and look up the VFR corridors and et cetera.
Cool. Any other questions?
Once you hold the private pilot, and if you fly in those problems other than the one, can't find one's name. Is the endorsement then considered, not necessarily invalid, but is the PPL certificate override?
Yes. Yes, so that endorsement was a student pilot endorsement for when you were a student pilot, and you now have a private pilot, so it voids that endorsement. Also, those endorsements too, the Class Bravo one, and I could put an expiration date on it. So if I want you to only fly in Bravo today, I could have it expire tomorrow, or so it's only valid for the one day. That's up to instructor discrepancy. So, but yes, once you get your private pilot, you can now fly through any Class Bravo airspace with an appropriate clearance, and then you're good.
Another question, just regarding endorsements. So all the endorsements you see received as a student pilot, once you get your private pilot certificate, are those endorsements overridden by your private pilot certificate?
Yeah.
But the only endorsements you have to keep, like you can't lose, would be like your high performance, tail wheel, and complex, right?
Yes.
So is it better to log that in for flight than a paper logbook?
The high performance and all those endorsements, I personally do everything in flight. So my high performance endorsement is in flight. If I got a tail wheel, it would be in flight. It's a little easier to, let's just say you do accidentally delete it and the instructor that you did your tail wheel endorsement lives in, I don't know, Idaho, rather than having to ship your logbook or fly your logbook out there to have them sign it. Flight, in my opinion, is a little easier and more accessible with that.
I just want to confirm that didn't have to be the paper logbook, because FAs were some.
Now, flight is a logbook, so I've done all my training, logbook training on flight. I don't have a paper logbook, so.
Just want to confirm that, because my logbook is written up right now.
It's paper,
Yeah.
so recommendation of what
I
you
moved
could,
all my flights to my.
okay, perfect, there you go.
Yeah.
That's it, we can do that. That's nice.
I'm just I was gonna ask about speed limits, but maybe for time.
Wasn't his instructions, so if he doesn't know it,
Yeah,
You could ask, let me practice today.
okay. Are there any speed limits?
Yeah, there is speed limits.
Okay.
Ask him 21.
All of them.
Like Alpha, it's I think March is called
March.
Mark, whatever. One. Or
Low.
Yeah.
right?
yes.
And then Bravo, it's 250.
So it's,
So it's 200. No?
You were correct, it's 250.
you're correct,
What?
but it's not, there's not gonna be a speed limit for each airspace. Some of them are under certain altitudes or through certain corridors, maybe.
And the Charlie is 200. And Delta is 200.
So you were right with the speeds, but it's a little more specific. It's not
Not.
no, it's not in Charlie or in Delta. It's within a 4 nautical mile radius below 2,500 feet of a Charlie or Delta. It's 200 knots.
And Echo, I think 250 and above 10,000. Is Mach 1, no?
Must have.
And which one is 2?
For which one?
Gulf.
So remember, it's easier to not do it per airspace. So the speed limit in all of America, Mach 1, below 10,000 feet MSL, 250. Within 4 nautical miles, below 2,500 feet AGL of a Class Charlie and Delta, 200. Under Bravo shelf or through a VFR corridor through the Bravo,
What?
what is it, guys?
200.
200.
Oh, yeah.
So remember, there's not a specific speed limit per airspace. It's different sort of parameters. So within the United States, below 10,000 MSL, within a 4 nautical mile radius, below 2,500 feet of Charlie or Delta, and then under a Bravo shelf or through a VFR corridor. So those are the ones that you'll need to know. Cool. Good job, though. That was really good.
But
All right. Who's next?
Is there any?
Sure. Or whoever. You guys can
No, feel
can
free.
duke it out if you want to.
Feel free.
Screen.
Yeah, the pressure's on, I'm getting hungry and irritable, looking for weakness.
Aaron's scaring me, man. Sitting in the back corner, can't say anything. Oh, man.
That smile of the devil's lettuce smile.
I'm not taking notes, don't worry about it.
I noticed your name was on there with 3 checks after it, I don't know.
Had
Baseball structure?
One check for every 15 minutes late.
Oh.
Should have seen you.
Oh, ouch.
Uh-oh. Pressure's on. I have stage right here. I am doing great.
And this will all help you with CFI as well. Yeah, remember that. It's not that far away. Yeah, it seems like it is, but it's not.
Seems like very far.
Not.
Oh, this is.
Just magically spawn.
Okay, I will still that screen sometime.
Okay.
Is it just plug in?
I think you need.
Yeah, you could plug into this one, or
Screen mirror.
I don't know how to do screen mirror. That's above my.
Click this thing. The double square.
Cool.
Faded square. And
Let's see
No.
if this
I
wants to
did.
work.
Oh, there we go.
definition set.
It's connected. It's not gonna be an HDMI port though.
Well, there's no other.
Worst case scenario, I just pull it up on there.
No, we don't want to watch.
Good time.
I mean, if anything, you just plug it in.
Yeah.
So.
All right, so there's a few things I want to cover. It's mostly going to be definitions. What does it cover under the definitions and etc. All this will be covered in the FAR AIM in section 830.2. So if everyone wants to pull that up, that's going to be definitely something that's easier to look at than listen to. Cool. So for the first things, the definition we're going to cover is accidents. Accident means an occurrence associated with the operation of an aircraft in which one or any combination of three things happens before boarding with intent to fly to the last person that departs the plane. The first thing is going to be death. The next thing is serious injury. We're going to cover what serious injury is covering after. And substantial damage to the aircraft is the last one. We'll also cover that definition shortly. Everyone knows what death means, so we don't have to cover that definition. So serious injury, it means one, required hospitalization for 48 hours within the past 7 days from which the injury occurred. Number two, fracture of any bone, excluding simple fractures, i.e. fingers, toes, and nose. Severe hemorrhages, nerve, muscle, or tendon damage, anything involving an organ, internal one. So technically you can get a free hospital ride if you get in some incident and say, oh, my organ. So, but you'll still have to pay for that bill. And number five, second or third degree burns or any burns affecting more than 5% of the body. So that's all the topics that cover serious injury. Let me know if anyone wants to pause to find that section. 830.2.
830 what?
830.2. It's not going to be in 61 or 91. It's going to be a separate own section at the very back. It's going to be before the end.
Yeah.
449 for everyone.
449. All right. Everyone good? All right. I'm going to continue on to substantial damage. Substantial damage means damage or failure that requires a major repair or replacement. This does not include if only one engine fails or is damaged for multi-engine, bent fairings or cowlings, dented skin, small puncture holes, ground damage to a rotor or prop, damage to landing gear, wheels, tires, brakes, or engine accessories, flaps, or wingtips. Very lengthy bit. So, all right. Moving on to incidents. Definition in 830.2 as well is an occurrence other than an accident associated with the operations of an aircraft that can or could affect safety. Pretty much anything like, say, someone decides to cross over a runway when they weren't allowed to clear. That is considered an incident. All right. Next up, let's go on ahead and take a look at these. Corey?
Mhm.
I'm gonna steal the computer.
Oh, yeah, whatever's best for you.
I already have it up on here. Let me make sure I'm on the right page. If so.
Now that would like be the HDMI two, I believe. Here.
All right. Can everyone see this fine? This is an NTSB investigation final report from an incident. Well, that's like from something that happened June 10th, 2021. Tried to cover up what it was, but I accidentally said it. So a runway incursion occurred at the San Diego International Airport, so that's near us, when a SkyWest flight was positioned on runway 27 for takeoff at the same time a SkyWest flight was cleared to land on the same runway. So what would that be? Accident or incident? Incident? Good. That was pretty much all I wanted to cover for this. I wanted to show you guys what it looked like. Next thing I want to show you guys, does everyone know where to find this?
Sorry.
NTSB website, does everyone know what that looks like and how to get there?
They do not, so let's show them.
Cool. All right, let me go to tab. NTSB.gov is where you're going to go. You're going to go on ahead and search for dockets, I believe, was it? Search accident dockets. You can search right here. Let's just search Vista. Not getting anything, so let me go back to that main page. All right. Let me find where it was again. California. Am I just doing this right? Could have sworn it was here. Oh, where you told me? Aviation investigation search. There we go. This is it. Cool. So this is where you get all the accident information you're looking for. You can search city, state, county, country, event type, as in accident, incident, or occurrence, highest injury level, etc., etc. Not everything will be available to search for here, because if you look at like most recent events, anywhere in the country, just searching for it, it takes them a good amount of time to finish their report and give you a final report that looks as detailed as the one I just showed you guys.
Cool.
The one I pulled up was the most recent one for our area, by the way, that had a final report, and that was 2021. So something like 4 years, and then it took them to get a final report.
Damn.
I don't know how long it is elsewhere, but that's for us. But yeah, this is just all the available reports you can search for across the world. A lot of them happened within the past couple days. We're not going to take a look at any of them. Some of them already have preliminary PDFs, but you can look at that on your own time. Next thing I want to take a look at is this incident that happened in 19. All right,
1975?
1975 at Gillespie. Gillespie is old. I found that out yesterday. It is old. All right. Does anyone want to take a gander at whether this is an accident or incident? Injuries. There is 0 fatal. There were 2 aircraft involved. There was no substantial damage. There was 3 serious injuries, and there was a total of that's all the information I have in this photo. I'll have to pull up that.
That
actual
appears to be
document.
what, engine failure or malfunction?
Accident.
Cool, y'all are correct. This is an accident. Let me pull up the actual. Oops. Oh well. So, but yeah. If you guys were interested in these types of documents, even taking a look or doing your own ADM, trying to figure out what type of hazardous attitude these guys had that could have led towards the accident, or what is it, the cheese something or another?
I don't know. Cheese.
The Swiss cheese model, where each thing builds up and causes the accident. You can look into that on your own, doing your own search on these. But yeah, these are great to look into. That should be all for that. And then continuing on back over here. Things that require immediate notification to where? The NTSB office. All right. Aircraft accident is the first thing that requires any accident requires immediate notification. Continuing on to incidents, flight control system malfunction or failure, inability to perform normal flight duties as a result of injury or illness, failure of any internal turbine that results in escape of debris other than outside past the exhaust, in-flight fire, in-flight collision, damage to property exceeding $2,000 or $25,000, release of all or a portion of a prop blade excluding ground contact, complete loss of information greater than 50% of display excluding flickering, an aircraft overdue and believed to be in an accident. That is it.
Cool. Very good.
What's your best friend's name?
That's right.
Give me a name.
Corey.
Corey, okay, thank you, Corey. Aviator Jones.
Aviator Jones. I like that one better.
So Aviator Jones is now a pilot.
Cool.
Okay, you learn about this cool thing where you can track planes, see where they're going. Okay, flight data. Aviator Jones is flying from here to North Las Vegas.
Mhm.
It's gonna take him 4 hours, and he's going on his own. Very little baggage. He can fly there nonstop. You still have enough fuel reserves in this scenario. Okay. While you're tracking this flight, you notice that you no longer see the aircraft information on flight radar. And you start to get a little worried because Aviator Jones is your best friend. What do you do?
Well, the first things you try calling,
Okay.
because it
Go
could
ahead,
be a
sir.
malfunction of instrument.
Okay. So Aviator Jones is leaving at 1 o'clock today and is planning on arriving there by 5.
And what time does he lose information? Do I lose information?
Just about halfway through.
So 2.5 hours in, I'd give a call. Because most likely he will have his phone connected to his headset to be able to hear the ringer.
Okay, he doesn't answer.
No answer?
Mhm.
Then I'd probably call up the flight service station to see if they have a word on that aircraft.
Okay. Yeah, they didn't get you anywhere. They don't answer.
That's a hard one. I'd probably,
Ah, that's a great question. Everybody hear that?
what?
Did he file a flight plan? Why are you asking that?
Because, no, it doesn't.
That's an excellent question. Yeah, he did file a flight plan. And he's planning on arriving there at 5 o'clock. And he's halfway through.
Call ATC.
I mean, flight service station should be the one monitoring, so.
You could try ATC, but they're so busy. They're like, all right, so you don't see him on the radar anymore. I mean, you see where it is from here to Vegas. There's like
A lot of
giant
desert.
desert.
Mhm.
I'm not surprised. But he filed a flight plan. Why am I asking this question?
Because if he doesn't land at the airport then and finish the flight plan, they're gonna send search and rescue out.
Okay. So are you required to report that? What is that considered in the NTSB? You did mention it when you read it. I just wanted to make sure.
Aircraft overdue and believed to be in an accident,
Yeah, what does overdue mean?
as in they're overdue to their destination. So technically, you're,
Meaning they fly by their destination airport?
as in they exceed the amount of time that they specified.
Yeah, they exceed the ETA
And
for their destination airport. Yeah,
That's like 30 minutes after.
correct.
so you'd still have to wait till, what did you say, 5 o'clock?
Yeah,
Doesn't it say aircraft, it says all aircraft believed to be in an accident?
so you could justify calling earlier. You could. I mean, it never hurts. Right? Because then maybe there's other aircraft in the area and they could do a pilot to pilot. Kind of like, hey, maybe an airliner up high at a higher altitude might reach out to them. Try different frequencies. Yeah.
Yeah. The other thing is, I don't expect you to have cell up there either. It's entirely.
I mean, I didn't tell you the cruising altitude, but I would hope that it's, Aviator Jones can sometimes be a little of. Aviator Jones at least filed a flight plan, so. That's a good
Can
one.
you just call like at 5 and see? Cause by that time he's probably like getting to the destination and stuff. around
Yeah.
then. Yeah, if there's no answer at that point, then you could get worried, I feel like.
Yeah.
I feel like anything before that would be definitely.
Well, so it says, overdue and is believed.
And it's believed, yeah. So, yeah, that's good.
Cool. Any more questions?
Yeah.
Cool.
All right, let's take a quick, it's 12:10, we have 50 minutes left. I think we have 3 more people that need to present, John, Hadley, and Francesca. So what we'll do is we'll take a 5-minute break. We'll come back, John, you'll go. And then depending on time, we'll have our 2 Zoom folks give a quick presentation. Otherwise, whoever's left will do that Monday morning when we get here. So 5-minute break.
Spend your 5 minutes reviewing, you can compare with you.
Nah.
Oh, winging it.
I didn't even look at it like that.
Like balls to the wall.
You wonder if you knew that airspace diagram would be after that. You have to be where? Monday.
Oh, that's why I had a question. Is there
So-
a specific frequencies that are used between pilots and communicate just each other?
Good thing today's all recap of what we learned over the
Yeah.
week.
Yeah, there's, what we call fingers.
Okay,
Yeah, yeah, how many fingers do you have on one hand?
that's not the next Monday, I have work at 2:15, so finish class at 1. Could review.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
If you want to show up there.
Oh, I'm gonna be
Yeah.
with,
Cool, right?
Yeah.
Hey Corey, can you hear me?
That's just an area, they call it.
okay, I'll
So
check.
anybody flying
I haven't
information.
Corey, can you hear me?
I haven't.
There are
In that
different,
area, there's probably based off the area.
there are different,
There might have been some things.
that's just one.
This is so bad.
I never flown formation, so I can't answer that question.
Yeah,
But what I can say
you
is,
like just fly formation for the first time, would it be best to be able to see a 5?
I looked at it.
Not at
I
plane.
understand.
SOPs can't do any formation flying, so.
And then, yeah.
You guys haven't flown on 72s, have you?
How good are you?
I have.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So like, if I ever wanted to like practice formation, I know we already did this in the money situation, but I'm just saying, you know. If I ever wanted to practice formation, like I wanted to see if that's check out.
Yeah.
Wouldn't it be
I
idea
have
to
like.
like practice that with an instructor before trying to just do it with your buddy?
I'm still working on memorization.
How did you guys?
I wouldn't do it with
Yeah.
an instructor, I mean, I would, but I wanna do it with somebody who's like, I mean, there might be some who's got their commercial pilot certificate. It actually, but it flown thousands of hours.
I don't know how to fly, it's not really good, but I've never done any formation.
Yeah, me
flying,
either.
So I wouldn't.
It just gives someone to have to see if I should give.
Because you think-
You did a great job though.
Yeah, just,
So in those cases, especially with someone who's experienced.
yeah. Yeah.
With experience and all the old timers with all the old Russian planes and the RVs. That do the aerobatic flying and formation flying, those
That's
are
what you want.
the ones you wanna go do a ride along.
See how it's done. Yeah, I was just wondering, because I remember even, I mean, we already know about wake turbulence, but it's also like a discussion. I mean, you take off after, you know, take off. I mean, before actually.
I've sat in on a meeting with all of those guys and the way they do the planning is very, very detailed. Like they have a certain amount of seconds in between when the first one starts to take off roll to when the second one starts to take off roll. Certain speeds at certain points, certain altitudes at certain points, it's not just like, oh, let's go do a formation flight. They do like
All the
an hour-long
calculations
briefing before they go and do it, yeah.
We're not on training sessions.
And vertical out.
I also feel like formation flying would be easiest to do if you followed it via flight.
Yeah, they wouldn't let you do it IFR, I would assume.
Even if it's VMC though, right? You could still file IFR, but I feel like that would just make everything more complicated.
I would say VFR is the way, only way you should do it.
But why would you have to file a view for a flight plan? View information plan.
You don't typically have to file a VFR flight,
Yeah.
but it's just, you know, if you get in an accident, someone will look for you.
I mean, if you're going for a local flight to, LCAP and back, I wouldn't file a flight plan.
Yeah. That's, nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it depends on what you're going. If you're flying cross country to the Aviator Jones in Vegas,
Yeah.
information, yeah,
You have
Oh.
a check right?
yeah, you can file it plus 2 or 3.
You look prime, I know.
It just depends on what your goal is.
When you're ever
Yeah.
asked so much, put your information plan, you would say one stolen one, because you're the pilot. But would you also find out you're flying formation?
Again, it depends on what your goal is. If you're doing getting flight following, they would know that you're flight 2 to 3 because they're stolen.
Yeah.
And you would likely tell them souls on board if you have some kind of emergency, right? Is that what you tell them?
Yeah.
Yeah. No matter what you do, aviate, navigate first. Yeah, I definitely would not lose my airspeed because I gotta tell them we sold on board.
Yeah.
For sure.
Watch the Aviation 101 series of them going to Canada.
Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking about, formation.
Yeah.
He's a competent both.
Yeah.
That would get.
Yeah, it's happening for good. Yeah, all the time. Yeah,
That was cool to see.
yeah, it was great. Have you seen Aviation 101 before?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Funny.
He is my,
Great video, yeah.
he's the one who got me in aviation. You got, yeah, no one that got me in aviation. Yeah, yeah, I said.
He really was.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
There's more flight to see that.
Insane.
Yeah, well, yeah, we're going to get checked out. You gotta, could have. Let's do it.
Oh, yeah.
Alright,
I don't like this game.
wasn't a game for you until you made a comment yesterday. Oh, do I have to present something? Now you do.
See, if you would have taken.
I do it to myself, I
If you would have
really
taken a
do.
PPL check ready, you would have known not to bring up topics that you don't want to dig yourself into a hole.
Well, they were like picking out of a basket, I was like, maybe I'll join. And he just like
Get a little FOMO.
Throws me under, yeah, I had a little bit of FOMO in the moment, not anymore. Really just kind of sad now. It's a little depressing. Oh, this is the LG. I don't know why this is not working. Ah. Perfect. Close your eyes, everybody. I don't know what's on here. Okay, we're good. We're good.
Flip to landscape.
So I was asked to show a flight plan to San Bernardino and just kind of talk about things along the way. So first, we'll talk about my flight plan that I chose, the points I chose, and the altitude. I chose 6,500 because it gets us clear of all of our terrain and the plus 500 for VFR, and we are on a west heading. It's like kind of straight up, but it's like a little bit westerly if you draw a straight line. So we'll talk about my first point right here. All my points are visual reference points.
Can I stop you really quick?
Yes.
I heard the word westerly. What is, are you talking about cruise altitude?
Yeah.
What's
Am I
it, what's it
backwards?
based off of?
This is 180 to 359 and 360 to 179.
What is that? Those degrees? What kind of degrees is that based off of? I heard you use the word heading. Is that right?
Course. True core. Magnetic course.
Magnetic course.
Magnetic course, Aaron. Magnetic course.
Don't worry, Jonathan, I got this notebook.
No, put it away, close it. I don't wanna see that thing ever. But all my points are chosen with visual justification. But we are blessed in the Sling to have a GPS, so they are GPS waypoints as well. My first point, we'll go over the points and then we'll come back and then we'll go over everything around the airport and like all the stuff on the section on the tack chart and everything. But my first point, my visual waypoint is Lake Jennings. We also have this VFR checkpoint flag. You can use, if you see those on a map, you can use those. VPSLJ. That is my first point. My visual lookout is Lake Jennings. My second point I chose is Chief. That is a GPS waypoint. But when I'm flying over to it, I'm looking for LCAP, which is, we all know this. We're all familiar once we start flying. Everyone sees LCAP. That's where we do a lot of our maneuvers and everything. My next point that I chose was Rice. When I'm flying to this point, I'm looking up for Lake Sutherland, and I turn before Lake Sutherland. This is another GPS waypoint. Those GPS waypoints you'll see are 5-letter indicators or 5-word indicators like that. But while I'm flying to this one, I'm looking for Lake Sutherland, make visual contact, call it out in the plane, Lake Sutherland in sight, keep track of my distance. My next point I chose is Kanak. When I'm flying this one, I'm looking out for Lake Wolford. This one's a little harder to see. It's kind of like in a dip when you're flying it. But if it's good conditions, you will be able to see that, and you can call that out as well if you're staying vigilant. My next one is Fitmu. I know we talked about this, and Corey didn't really like the intersecting highways, but when you are flying along, I really do like this intersecting highway right here. It's like right above it, and it's pretty easy to see if it is in good conditions. They're really like, they're big, they intersect, you can see them both, they lead to each other, you can see they coming along. My next point is French Valley, F70, another airport, always a good point to have, right? You can see it, emergency landing point, you gotta go there, you never know. Another point, Hemet, another airport, you can see it, you'll probably fly there while you guys are going through the course. Long runway, really nice. And then after Hemet, I go up to Banning Pass, VPLBP. This is a visual checkpoint. It's a little interesting when you fly over there. There's nothing that like really stands out, but there's a ton of like these really spiky mountains. You can kind of like justify.
Intersecting highway.
Intersecting highway.
Okay, super easy.
We'll go with that, right? I was looking at the mountains. Let's calm down. And then beautiful, right to San Bernardino, right here. We look great. That's my, no, put your hand down. I don't want to hear it. What's your question?
I'll let you finish with your San Bernardino, then I have a question about F.
I'm done with San Bernardino.
For those two airports, F70 and Hemet Airport,
Sorry.
what is the ceiling for, what is the floor and the ceiling for that Echo airspace they're within? And is your altitude cleared that you selected?
Oh yeah, easily. I mean, we're in Echo, we're just flying above it.
Okay, so
Yeah.
what's the ceiling?
Like when Gulf turns to Echo?
No, for that airspace.
This one?
Yeah,
Like the ceiling for Echo.
yeah, for that Echo, that Hemet and
He's looking for
F70 are both
Like when
located.
clearance from the traffic.
Yeah, I just
pattern.
wanna make sure you're above and away from all the traffic.
Yeah,
You're
you're definitely gonna be above everything.
Oh,
Yeah.
I just wanted.
It's all, you're just flying through Echo. You're at 6.5. You're gonna be on flight following most likely, right? You're above you're not in Gulf, you're in Echo. You're not in Alpha, you're below that. You're like perfect. Just kind of cruising along. Maybe you'll have a buddy flying next to you, Probably faster than you, the slings are pretty slow. Sorry. Oh yeah.
How are you gonna enter to the airport?
Left downwind for 2-4 probably. Or a right downwind for 6. I had to do that actually when I flew to San Bernardino. Let's pull it up. Where did I go? Sorry. So when I was flying to San Bernardino, we came up to here, called tower, flight following literally just threw us off. Okay, contact tower. Like, oh, it's a little weird. They didn't really pass us on or anything. Contact tower. Then someone's having an emergency. A private jet is declared an emergency and was doing low passes because their landing gear position indicator was indicating red.
So they didn't know if their landing gears were out. So they're flying, they're doing a bunch of low passes, having the control tower look out. So we were kind of just circling in this area. And then usually when you look at this, you're gonna land on runway 24, right? That's a left pattern. But the wind was super calm, so then we just came in and it brought us right in for like a straight in right downwind for runway 06, right there. Kind of came in, turn, came in on that 45 for the down. It was literally perfect. But we were kind of over by Redland, so we kind of made it work. But it would bring you in for like either a perfect right downwind for 06 or can make a left downwind for 4.
Are you not worried about Redlands traffic?
No, I was so high. I was like insanely high.
Descending down the San Bernardino.
No, I wasn't like my altitude. I was no. Like when I was descending into San Bernardino, of course I'm not just gonna fly straight over Redlands. Like we were just kind of like in Redlands area, kind of like over this congested area. This yellow right here, that means congested. You guys, yellow congested. A little weird. Just think about it like that. We're kind of just circling that area. But I was at like 7.5, like we were just climbing being fun. But of course, like when you're going in, you don't want to just descend down to traffic pattern altitude above Redlands and enter their airspace. We kind of came out and then came back in like this and joined them.
That's another thing you should be aware of flying into San Bernardino.
Jets.
Cool.
There's hella jets over there.
Do you remember what their standard flight path out of San Bernardino is and you have to be wary of?
No.
They like to fly the 06 route in, and they like to like travel over a good portion. If you scroll to the right a bit, they like to travel over the Mentone or whatever that is area. So you have to be aware of like making sure they're not flying above you too close, because that's dangerous.
Yeah, no, that wouldn't have been good. So they like to take off 6 and then fly out.
Yeah, I flew to Redlands more than a few times, and there was a couple of times where I'm like, that's too close for my comfort.
Really?
Yeah, flying out of San Bernardino, they do not care that you're there. They acknowledge the fact that you have to get out of the way, not them.
Sick. That's a good note. You guys should probably fly to San Bernardino.
Alright,
I didn't know that.
I got another question.
So,
Sorry.
Alright.
So for the yellow, you said it means congested. What does it also?
like at night lights,
Okay. And lights as in.
you're gonna see lights when you're flying at night.
And are they drawn in that particular fashion for a reason?
Yeah. It's where houses are and like cities, buildings. Is that what you're asking? I'm so confused, honestly.
Yeah, you're saying it, but he's looking for specifically, the yellow is the shape that the lights are gonna make
Yeah.
at night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what I mean.
Alright,
That
let's
clarification. We're gonna go back to the
scroll
beginning.
back down to San Diego. Gillespie, go ahead and read that airport information for us.
So Gillespie Field and our 3-letter indicator, Sierra Echo Echo. Control tower, 120.7. That means CTAF frequency. Star is the airport or the tower is not like 24 hours. Pretty sure. Tower is not 24 hours. Our ATIS for our weather is 125.45. Field elevation 388. Lighting is variable.
What's another way to say that?
Pilot control.
Lighting limitations.
Lighting limitations. Longest runway 5300. We also have right pattern limit. That asterisk means like limitations apply. Same thing, kind of I guess like the lighting. So check chart supplement for limitations with the right pattern on that. What it tells with this. This is our airspace. Gillespie is a class D airspace, goes up to 2400. We are below a Bravo. The Bravo starts at 4800, goes up to 10,000. After that, we are in Echo to 18,000 or 17,999, and Alpha at 18,000 to flight level 600. Then after flight level 600, we're back in Echo up until space. Looking around this is our airport beacon and our kind of our general area. That star right there you see on the map, that is our airport beacon. Just in our general area, things to keep in mind, San Vicente Island over here. That's a good, kind of know your general location. Barona Casino, Aaron will love if you know these things, if you fly with him. El Cap Mountain, right? This is Cowles Mountain, the one when you're taking off. That mountain up in front of you, Cowles Mountain, know that. Right, you're going out here, we already kind of talked about it, right? The yellow is congested area. Once you're outside of the Z, you're probably not gonna be below 700 feet AGL, so you're most likely gonna be in echo airspace at that point. This is this H with the glider, that's like hang glider activities in that area. You're still gonna be in echo coming up to Chief, still gonna be in echo. Around Chief, a little like if you do your top of climb, usually it comes out to like a little bit after Chief is where your top of climb will be. Usually you reach your top of climb kind of like around El Cap, somewhere over here, a little earlier, I tend to realize, is where you'll reach your top of climb. So you're just flying along. Flying T Ranch, that's a private airport. It's a dirt strip. It's really hard to see. I've gone close to it once on like an engine failure.
Don't fly low.
System.
Don't fly too low.
Once. I was new here. It wasn't me. Wow, what did I click? I don't know how to get out of this.
Click edit and
So
so
far
far.
away we go.
Yeah. Kind of flying along the area. You're still gonna be in echo. Over here we have a VFR, Julian VFR,
VFR.
VOR, VORTAC actually. This is a VORTAC, not just a normal VOR. It's a little tap.
What are those? Zoom out a little bit. What are a little bit more, keep going. What are those thin black lines with the little tick marks on that run vertical and horizontal?
The latitude and longitude.
Cool. And what is that blue number in each of those latitude and longitude quadrants?
That is the highest point in a 30-minute quadrant. It's called like a MEF,
Which stands
maximum elevation floor figure. MEF. So it's the highest elevation in that 30-minute quadrant. We went over this other day, forgot. But yeah, these blue lines coming off the VOR, those are Victor Airways. So that's kind of how people used to fly back in the day. Coming over here, you're still in echo. You pass close to the Delta, or Ramona's Delta over here. When you're flying over here, hang gliding operations up over there by that mountain.
What is the minus sign?
Unmarked balloon, the minus sign on the Delta.
Mhm.
Up to but not including 3,800. This little box, where did it go? What happened to the box?
Switch to the sectional.
This little box over here, this balloon on the cable is there. The San Diego like zoo, they have like a safari area over there, and they like have a balloon that's just constantly in the air. Just keep that in mind, like you're flying over there if you're like really, really low or something like that. It's like the San Diego Safari. Right, another private airport up to the right over there. This purple line we're still in. This is the Mode C ADSB out 30 nautical miles. So during this whole time we are in this, so you can, you still want to be very vigilant outside, but also use your inside avionics to look out for traffic and keep yourself, accountable as PIC. You're flying along, right? You see like more city, more congested area over here, Escondido, everything like that. You're gonna pass over Lake Wolford. I have actually never seen this airport, like the private airport, Lake Wolford. I haven't seen, actually, I think I saw it once. It's paved. It's a paved one. It's nice.
I think I've never seen it.
I think I've seen it. Oh, actually, I think I'm thinking of Blackington. Yeah, I've never seen Lake Wolford private airport.
What do the black numbers mean?
These black numbers, like 2260.
Yeah.
Elevation.
Oh,
Elf something. Don't be 2260, everybody. Be 6'5". That's what you told flight following. Follow it. Okay? Let's be honest now. You don't want to mess with those guys, they'll snap at you. keep flying, right? This is a great little airport in an emergency. Private Blackington, it's really nice, actually, it's a paved runway. That's the one I've seen on my flight over there. It was really, really nice. You also have another private runway out over here, maybe within gliding distance, depending on, most likely, I'd say. See,
If you were to have an emergency, would you be able to land at Blackington?
yeah. Emergency, you take priority. Deal with the consequences later.
Would it be the best airport for you to land at?
If I was over here,
Yes.
depends what type of emergency. I would say, like engine out, yeah. Engine fire, yeah.
Could you make it to Palomar? Your engine dies at 6.5 and you're directly over Blackington. Could you make it to Palomar? Assuming we're in a no wind scenario.
Yeah, you could with the 3-to-1 ratio off the top of the head, maybe. 3,000 feet for every 1,000 feet of elevation. Is that the ratio it is?
For our glide speed?
Yeah.
It's a 10-to-1 ratio.
10 to 1.
So 10,000 feet horizontal per 1,000 foot of altitude loss.
That's like
And that's assuming you're
2 nautical miles,
just under, yeah.
like 1.5 nautical miles. So 3,
Definitely be good.
4.5. 7, 9.5. Maybe. I probably wouldn't risk that. I'm gonna be honest. That's like really like on the limit from 6.5, I'd say.
Yeah, I would say probably not,
Yeah.
especially if we have a headwind. We know the
Most
Wind
likely
usually
coming
comes
off
from
the
the
coast,
west.
yeah. I would most likely just land at Black.
And also you see a nice paved runway right under you. So like,
Yeah.
are you gonna give that up? No.
Sure, I was just thinking it's in the middle of nowhere, you know, I got to Uber back from that, right? Don't let those decisions clog your judgment though, in the air. Land on that paved runway. Don't think about the Uber. Aaron will reimburse you. Right? Let's look to chief instructor back there.
I'll get you a lot of people.
Yeah, land at Blackington, you guys have some problems over there. Please don't glide to Palomar.
what's that magenta circle? The big magenta circle.
That's the ADSB out we're talking about. 30 nautical miles from a Bravo. Correct. We're still in this area, so like I was saying, use your avionics, kind of look around, look outside as well. So
What altitude does the mode seatbelt go up to?
probably 10,000. Right. Yeah. Educated guess, you guys. Do that in aviation as well. It might save your life. Who knows?
Difference between a professional pilot and a new pilot is a new pilot will guess. Maybe they're right, maybe they won't. A professional pilot will admit when they're wrong or don't know something, but know where to find it.
A new pilot, you guys. We're still learning.
Right, I should ask like.
Like I said, you're still flying over here. Got your intersecting highways, I promise. You see them from the air. Pretty easy to see those from the air, I swear. Over here, you got Fallbrook Community Airport. It's a really weird airport if you land there. Bumpy, it's on a hill, it's slanted, it's horrible, it's kind of cool.
There's a cliff at the edge, so.
Yeah, no, so it's like, you're literally like coming in over houses. And it's like on the edge of a hill, the houses are down here, and you're coming like so like level into it. It's the weirdest. I don't know.
If you had the option, or if you had an emergency over that airport, would you pick that one or try to make it to Blackington?
I would go to Camp Pendleton.
You go to Hamilton?
Yeah. It's an emergency. I'm able to go there, you know. Like, they probably got all that good stuff. I probably see a couple cool fighter jets, you know what I'm saying? But over here to the left, we have some restricted areas, right? R2503 Bravo. We have a Class Delta Camp Pendleton Airport right here. Camp Pendleton MCAS.
Can you fly through restricted airspaces?
With clearance from the controlling agency, or they're not always active.
Where can you check to see if they're active or
This,
information on
this
contacting?
red, it's active right now.
Okay, besides ForeFlight, like just clicking on it, where else can you find it?
You can call SoCal, 124.1 or 127.3 for restricted area activity status. If you're mid-flight, you want to contact them, contact SoCal. You're most likely going to be with SoCal. You probably ask them. Like you're probably not going to do cross country without flight following. I don't know.
What
why.
about without
I don't know
calling?
how you would. Without calling them?
What document could you look in?
Oh, your chart supplement probably.
What's
NOTAMs.
folded up piece of paper that unfolds into many, many squares can you look on that has a little,
Sectional.
yes.
Legend.
Yes, there should be information on the sectional.
Let's pull it up right here, actually. I'll pull it up for us.
Yeah, it'll have information on each restricted airspace, what times it's hot and cold, and then frequencies and phone numbers to call that controlling agency.
I hate this thing. Okay.
Question.
We found the section.
SOPs for landing at airport within what distance? Was it like 2,700 feet minimum?
So that, unless they've updated it, maybe Aaron can elaborate on that. It used to be, it was based off of Torrance's shortest runway. Our 27 left here at Gillespie is, I believe, slightly shorter than Torrance's shortest runway. So I think it's whatever 27 left distance is.
Yeah, the shortest runway of your airport base, because now we have 2 new locations. Yeah,
So if he was having an emergency and landed at Rickerton, I forgot the name. The 2,200 foot runway, he wouldn't get reprimanded for that, right? It's in 32.
no, yeah, if it's an emergency,
If you're alive. If
yeah.
you're alive, you'll get reprimanded.
Yeah.
They might ask you why you went to the military air base and not somewhere else. Oh, I'm sorry,
You
my
made for the
email.
rules if you're.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But this is what he was talking about. This is on the legend. You can see the restricted areas over here, their altitude, time of use, contact, and what frequency to use. So you can kind of pull that up on your sectional. Like there's a setting. I'll show you guys. It's over here. That's not it. I think it's over here. And then in your settings, you go to map touch action and then bring chart to front with legends. So instead of like always looking at a section, you can bring up the tack chart with the legend when you tap on that certain area. It's like more detailed. If you guys want to throw that on your 4 flight, it's pretty useful. You can always have the legend there. There's also the legend in the documents. Let's see if, yeah, right here, legends, tack legend. But that's just like the basic. That's not going to have any of like the restricted or the warning areas for that like legend area.
Can you send that back to me?
This one?
Yeah.
I think it's literally in FAA and then legends, and then it's right there. So go to FAA, go to legends, and then the TAC legend, VFR legend, and then you have like the NOAA, like you have like a weather, like FAA rated legend you can pull up if you need to. You know what I'm saying? Like on check ride, you forget about something, 'cause weather's huge. Whip this bad boy up. They can't be covering your iPad, right? It's kind of messed up. Good pilots know where to find it, you guys. Good pilots. Good pilots.
Good pilots verify.
Good pilots verify. That's right. So yeah, the restricted areas over here. This is a military base. I don't know what Mune Field means. Do you know what Mune Field means?
I think it's just the name of the field itself.
Really? Okay. And then it's 3-letter identifier, control tower 128.775. That star after means, right? It's not always, or limitation. Control tower limitations. ATIS 285.45. Field elevation 78. Lighting limitations and longest runway 600. This is also its airport beacon right here. Yeah, you're not missing much. Not so long. I'm just talking. Good job.
You're doing great, but let's get closer to San Bernardino and
Okay.
let's go ahead and wrap it up.
All right. After you're outside of the mode C and ADS-B out though, be a little bit more vigilant outside. That's one thing to keep in mind once you start flying a little further, because you know they're not gonna have that ADS-B on your radar. They like some weirdo, the plane just come right up on you. Class Charlie airspace. Your Hammond, plate, parachute, glider, point,
Windsor column at your destination airport. Which runway do you land on?
2-4.
Anybody else?
I landed on 6 when winds were calm. Maybe 6.
So where do you look, where do you find it?
See. Runway 6 winds calm. No, that's not what I meant.
No. Remember, where do we find information about that specific airport? Charge supplements, the AFD. So let's go through that.
San Bernardino.
You might have said this, and maybe I missed it. But did Jonathan mention noise abatement for San Bernardino?
No.
Yeah, what is noise abatement?
Special regulations so you're not like messing with their noise. Like people they get mad.
Can you please rephrase that like a pilot?
Noise abatement is kind of individual airports. They each can have their own noise abatement procedures that a pilot should follow for the community in the area to allow them to respect that airport and not get angry.
Thank you, that's better.
You're welcome.
Yeah, be a good neighbor.
Be a good neighbor.
Yeah, so, San Bernardino does have noise abatement procedures, so you make sure that you at least are familiar where to find it.
Mhm.
Where
Online,
did you find it?
just look it up on Safari. Usually,
Yeah, on their website.
yeah.
Yeah.
Looking for calm wind. Where? Point at it, Ollie.
Oh, yeah, runway.
Ali. Yeah.
Oh. Yeah, runway 6, you guys, calm winds. Good to know.
They probably had you vector on that runway because of some traffic in the other side.
No, it was calm wind.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why they made me line at 6.
Any other last minute questions?
Who wants to read it? You're the only new one left.
What am I reading?
The airport information.
The SPD, KSEE is the airport location, so it has a control tower, that's frequency 119.5. It's part-time. CTAF, I will utilize that frequency, no, actually, that 122.975 is CTAF. No,
You had it right the first time.
it's the same one.
Yeah.
So then what is 122.97, is it alternate?
It's probably like the
Not the ATIS.
I think it's the Unicom.
ATIS is the 124.175, so therefore that next frequency is going to be Unicom.
Yeah.
Unicorn.
Okay, field elevations, 1,159. It is, light light limitations, so that means it's pilot directed at, once the tower closes. The longest runway is 10,000 feet. Runway 6 is red pattern,
Mm-hmm.
got a beacon.
Yeah. Beacon. Beautiful.
And where do we refer to for those lighting limitations for
Card
the,
supplement.
perfect.
Right here, let's see.
Yeah, let's see what that says about the light limitations.
It's probably in remarks somewhere.
I see it. Look above remarks.
lighting, when tower close, HIRL.
Yep. High intensity runway lights.
Low.
So those are automatically set to low.
So you would trigger still at a high? Or no?
Yeah, to like
You still have to,
increase
would
it.
you still hit 7 clicks? And then
Yeah,
you would adjust it based on that.
Yeah, so it'll automatically be set to low, which is gonna be the 3 clicks. So if you want to put in any others, we would just click it differently. What frequency would we click on?
Uh,
CPAP. Cool. Let's wrap it up for today. You know, really.
Yeah, I'm awesome. I'm awesome.
Today was your guys' day. and I'm very proud of you guys. Good job. Cool. All right, for those of you on Zoom, you'll do yours on Monday.
Is it weather next week, Corey?
Next week, let's see what next week's gonna be. Next week, we're gonna go over weather theory, yay, weather services, reading weather reports, and AWS orientation. So, yes, next week will be weather, a whole week designated to weather because it's a
Good.
very
Good. Page check on
complex.
Friday. This is timing perfect.
Perfect. So for those of you on Zoom, just very briefly on Monday, like 5 minutes, you'll do your presentation. So you have a whole weekend to prepare. And then we will hopefully see you guys on Monday. So farewell.
Stop educated guessing.
Yeah, stop educated guessing.
Okay, so get without education.